Hi, my name is Benedict Dungo, and I'm going to do my laboratory exercise number 2. The following task and step given, all questions should be answered. This lab exercise is 20 points, 4 points each. Network diagram in PC1 and 4 switches with VTP server, VTP client 1, VTP client 2, VTP client 3. Description: the purpose of this lab is to configure VLAN on all devices and test VLAN's membership. The aim of this lab is to check your ability to configure VTP and VLAN on a small network of 4 switches. 1. Figure the VTP server switch as a VTP server. 2. Connect to the 3 other switches and configure them as VTP clients. All links between switches must be configured as trunk lines. Configure VTP domain name as test domain and VTP password as Cisco. Configure VLAN 10 with name students and VLAN 50 with name servers. Check for propagation on all switches of the VTP domain. Instructions. Task 1. Perform basic configuration on all switches. Step 1. You can also use Cisco Packet Tracer simulation software to do this lab. Use Cisco Switch 2960. Step 2. Do this in each switch. Enter global configuration mode. Switch, configure terminal. So you'll enter the configuration command 1 per line and with cntl/z. Then the prompt will change to switch config. Okay, let's start doing the diagram. I have 4 switches. Okay, as we scroll down all the way at the bottom, you will see that it says here configure VTP domain as test domain and VTP password as Cisco. And the next instruction here is configure each link switches as trunk line. And as you can see, the line is connected as an interface gigabyte internet 1 and interface gigabyte 1 and dash 2. So we will be attaching all the lines of the switch to gigabyte 1, internet 1, 2, 1, 2. So there. Okay, let's start. The step 2, do this in each switch. Enter global configuration mode. And we'll follow the step 3, configure all switch name as VT server, VTP client 1, VTP client 2, VTP client 3. We'll start with the VTP server, configure that. Okay. Let's change PC to PC1. And let's change its IP address 192.168.10.10 is 7net mask. Okay, and close. Then we go to switch 1, switch 0, config. Let's change the display name, VTP VTP server. Okay, go CLI, enter. Then we go to enable and configure terminal. Then we are in the global configuration mode. Now, the second step is we change the host name. Host name okay. Okay. Change the host name to VTP server. Enter. That, okay, wrong. VT host name VTP slash server. Enter. There you go. Then disable DNS lookup. So disable DNS lookup with the no IP domain lookup command. Okay, no IP domain dash lookup. Then next is configure the exec mode password. Okay, now enable secret password is class. Okay, then configure a message of the day banner or MOTD. Okay, banner MOTD and sign and okay. And the next one is configure console password. Okay, line console 0, and we will use the password Cisco. And log in, exit. Then after that, configure the password for the virtual terminal line, and the password is Cisco. So it will be line VTY04 password Cisco, login synchronous log in, exit. Okay. Now, step 8. Follow the command below. Don't forget to enable all ports to be configured using no shutdown command. One of the best practice, always save your configurations, startup configuration using write mem or copy running config, startup config, or copy run start at the prompt. Okay. Now let's put an IP address for BTP server. Okay. Interface VLAN 1. Enter IP address 192.168.10.1, 255.255.255.0. Enter. No shut down. Enter. Exit. Okay. Enter. Okay. Now we successfully put an IP address, and let's save this. Exit. We will use copy running config start up config. Okay. Destination file name startup config. Okay. Building configuration. Okay. Now we will try to put a we'll do the VTP domain test domain, and it's VTP password as Cisco for the server. Okay, we'll go to config T. Okay, so go to global command mode, and we'll do VTP domain test domain. Okay, enter, changing VTP domain name for now to test domain, and now VTP password Cisco. Okay, setting the VLAN database password to Cisco. The next one is configure VLAN 10 with name student and VLAN 50 with name server. On VTV server switch, configure the following command. Okay, now let's go to VLAN 10. Okay, configure that VLAN, the name. So you can see, the name students. Enter. Then students. Then exit. Go to VLAN 50. Okay, and name servers. Okay, there you go. Exit. Okay, the next step is configure the VTP server switch as a VTP server. So we'll go to VTP mode server, device mode already VTP server. Okay, then we'll exit and we'll verify the VTP configuration using the show VTP status command. So okay, show VTP status. Okay, version 2, configuration 4, maximum VLAN support local 255, number of existing VLAN 7, VTP operating server, VTP domain name is test domain, VTP phoning mode disabled, configuration last modified 192.168.10.10, local ID number 192.168.10.10 on interface V11, lowest number VLAN interface found. Okay, the last one we have to do here on the server is check the propagation of all switches of the VTP domain. You show VLAN brief on each switch to check the propagation of two VLANs. VTP server show VLAN brief. Okay, let's do that. Uh, let's type show VLAN brief. Oh, wrong spelling. Show VLAN brief. And there you go. VLAN 1 is by default. And as you can see, all the lines are in default. And VLAN 10 students active. And VLAN 50 servers active. Okay. That's configuring VTP server. Now let's go to configuring the switch 1. Okay, let's configure the display name. We'll be configuring this one as client 1. Okay, VTP client 1. Okay, go here and we enter. Enable, then config T, go to global configuration mode, then we change the hostname VTP client 1. Enter. Then we'll do all the same. Disable the DNS lookup. No IP. Okay. Okay. No IP domain lookup. Enter. The next one will be configure the executive mode password. Okay. Enable secret. The password is class. Enter. Then the next one is configure a message of the day banner. MOTD and then configure the console password. So line console zero. Enter. Then the password is Cisco. Login. Exit. Okay. Step 8. Configure the password for the virtual terminal line. So it will be line VTY 04. Then password Cisco. Then logging synchronous and login and exit. Okay. In step 8, configure each switch the following command below. Don't forget to enable all ports to be configured using no shutdown command. One of the best practice, always save your configuration to start up configuration using write mem or copy running config, startup config, or copy run start, or the prompt star number. Sorry. Okay. Let's assign an IP address first. Interface VLAN 1 IP address 192.168.10.2. Okay. and 255.255.255.0 and Sano shutdown. Okay, and exit. Okay, now let's save this. So we type copy running config start up dash config. Okay, enter and okay. Now we will try to uh, the next one will be configuring VTP domain name as test domain and VTP password as Cisco. Okay, let's do that. Config T. Okay, for each client, I will do VTP domain test domain. Enter VTP password Cisco. Okay. Okay. Now the next one we'll do is yeah, to configure VLAN 10 and VLAN 50 its name. So VLAN 10, okay, name student, name students, okay, exit, then VLAN 50, name servers. Okay. Okay. So we did everything already. Then we will try to configure link between switches as trunk line. Before that, let's show VTP client to configure VTP mode client. Okay, so VTP mode client, enter, setting device to VTP client mode, VTP verify configuration, okay, exit, then let's see the status, show VTP status, okay, version 2, configuration revision 4, maximum VLAN supported locally 255, number of existing VLAN 7, VT operating mode, client, VTP domain name, test domain. Okay, the next one is we'll try to configure the link as a trunk. Okay, go to G1 terminal 1, then we type switch port mode trunk. Enter. As you can see, if from down it went up, then we'll configure gateway 2, switch port mode trunk. Enter. Now, the last thing we do is we show VLAN brief. So we do is exit, and let's see, show VLAN brief, and okay, so you can see VLAN 1 is the default, and in the show VLAN brief you won't see the gig 01 and the gig 02 because they are in the trunk mode already, and 10 VLAN 10 as students and VLAN 50 as servers. Okay, that concludes the configuration for client 1, VTP client 1. Now we'll go to configure VTP client 2. Switch config, let's change this to VTP client 2. Enable, then we go to configuration mode, config C, then let's change the name. We'll go all through the process again. Okay, faster. Okay, host name, it's VTP dash client 2. Okay, then no domain dash look up. This is disabling the DNS lookup. Oh, okay. No IP domain dash lookup. That's correct. Okay. Enter. Then will be configure exec mode password by enable secret password is class. Then we'll configure a message of the day banner. So will be banner MOTD and then after that we'll configure the console password, line console 0 then password Cisco, login, exit. Okay. Now configure the password for the virtual terminal line. So we'll do line VTY04, then password Cisco, then logging synchronous, then log in and exit. After this, we'll try to assign an IP address, interface VLAN 1, IP address 192.168.10.3 space 255.255.255.0. Enter. No shutdown command. Enter and exit. Okay. After that, we'll try to save this. Exit. Then we'll do copy running dash config space start up dash config. Okay. Oops, wrong. Copy running dash config start up dash config. Okay. Okay. There you go. Question mark. Enter. Building configuration. Okay. Okie dokie. Now, what we'll do now is configure BTP domain as test domain and BTP password as Cisco. Okay. So what we do is we go to configure mode, config T. Okay. And we do BTP domain as test domain. Enter. Domain name is already set. Let's set the password BTP password Cisco. Enter. Setting device VLAN database password to Cisco. Then the next thing we do is to configure VLAN 10 name with students and VLAN 50 with name servers. Okay, do that. VLAN 10 name students. That's it. VLAN 50 name servers and exit. Exit. Then the next thing we do is we set the VTP mode client. VTP mode client, enter, exit, then we show VTP status. VTP show VTP status, enter. Okay, and next we do is we set the link the switches as a trunk line. Okay, okay, switch port mode trunk, enter, and the next one is G2 switch port mode trunk, enter, exit. There you go. And the last thing we gotta do is show check the propagation of all switches of the VTP domain. So we'll go to show brief, show VLAN brief. Okay, so exit. Okay, show VLAN brief, enter, and there you go. Default one, VLAN is default. VLAN 1 is the default. As you can see, the port, the G0, the G01 and G02 is not here because they are in they won't show here because it's in the trunk mode already. VLAN 10 is students, VLAN 50 is in servers. Okay, okay, that's the end for client 2. Now we'll do the last one, the VTP client 3. Okay. Okay, configure the name. The last one is VTP client 3. Okay, enter, enable. Okay. Going back again to the top. We'll start again. Okay, then config T to go to okay, to global configuration mode, and we change the host name VTP-client 3. Enter. There you go. The next is we're gonna disable the DNS lookup with no IP domain dash lookup. Enter. Then the next one will be configure the exec mode password. Password is class, so enable secret class, enter, Then configure a message of the day banner, MOTD, and time. And then we'll go to configure the console password. We'll do line console 0 password Cisco. Then we log in, exit. Then we configure the password for the virtual terminal line. So line VTY04 password Cisco logging synchronous login exit. There you go. Then the next step is to configure each switch. Follow the command below. Don't forget to enable all ports. Configure using no shutdown command. One best practice, always save your configuration. So start out configuration using write mem or copy running config startup config or copy run start at the prompt number sign. So before we do that, let's put an IP address interface VLAN 1 IP address 192.168.10.4 space 255.255.255.0. Enter. No shutdown. Enter. Exit and exit again, and we'll do a copy running dash config start up config. Okay, save. There you go. Then what we're gonna do is number 3, configure the VTP domain name as test domain and VTP password as Cisco. Okay, what we do is config T, shortcut for configuration terminal, enter. Then we'll do a VTP domain test domain, enter. The domain name is already set, okay, but anyway, VTP password Cisco, enter. There you go. The next thing we gotta do is configure VLAN 10 with student and VLAN 50 as servers. Okay, VLAN 10, name students, exit. Then VLAN 50, name servers, enter, exit. Okay, there you go. Now what we're gonna do is configure client 3 to VTP mode client. Okay, so VTP mode client, enter, then show VTP status, exit, then show VTP status, enter. There you go. Okay, and what we do now is we configure the link between switches as a trunk line. Okay, we'll do this as the trunk line. G1, okay, and switch port mode trunk, turn, exit, then the next one, G2, okay, switch port mode trunk, and then exit. Okay, then the last one we're gonna do is for this client 3 is check the propagation of all switches of the VTP domain. So we're gonna exit. So we're gonna type show VLAN brief, enter. Okay, there you go. As you can see, VLAN 1 is the default, the G01, the G02 is not here because they're in the trunk mode. VLAN 10 student is active, VLAN 50 server is active. And this concludes laboratory exercise number 2. Thank you very much.